Hi guys, so welcome to the second video in this, which I can now call a remote working series. And as we spoke yesterday on the video, that this is primarily around, especially educating those people who are recently planning to move to remote working culture. And the idea behind sharing this knowledge and sharing these tips and tools and tricks is that to enable you in a seamless or a easier migration, because as we spoke in yesterday's video, that most of the people who have a very formal, very set working culture environment in the organization, where they go to office every day and the teams work one on one, more like a face to face have face to face conversations and the things like that happen. Remote might be a very different or a new approach for those people. So the idea behind making these videos is to give you the right knowledge and share at least my learning and my expertise of running Codesign Labs. All those who don't know me, I am Dil Nawaz. I'm the founder of Codesign Labs. We are a design ops management company, and we are a 100% remotely run company. I gave a quick brief yesterday in one of the in the video that we are a 7 to 8 full-time lean team, plus we work with 150 contractual freelancers from across the country, and we have clients across multiple not just cities but countries, into multiple time zones. So and in past 4 years we have somewhat acquired some sort of expertise in remote working culture and building teams remotely and working with them, and we have successfully done that by now. So the idea behind making this video is to give you some sort of tips and tricks and knowledge around that. So in yesterday's video, where we spoke about the important techniques, today we're going to look at tools. So these are those primarily those tools that we use in our day-to-day life as a company. And although a few of these tools you might be knowing, a few of them might look very cliched to you, but again, as I said, the idea is not to talk to people or not to give the info to people who who have some clue about this particular domain, but to educate people who are going to experience remote working or remote work culture for the first time in their life, or maybe the entire organization is about to go remote, right? So the idea is to give you some sort of some information around the tools that you can use. So the number one thing that you as an organization will face as a challenge the moment you go remote is communication, right? Because when we are in a common office, it's very easy to pass on a message to your colleague. Emails are, of course, I personally treat them to be an outsider's communication, but when you are internally in an organization, typically people either work on WhatsApp groups, which is a very casual way of working, or people send emails. But they're two very effective tools, and one of them is what we use personally for routine communication, both internally in our team and also with our freelancers, is called Flock. So Flock is almost like a tool called Slack, and most of you would be knowing about it. And traditionally, typically, both of these tools, you can get them for free for a few licenses, and then of course you have to pay a very minimal amount to use them. I personally, and we as an organization personally, use Flock for multiple different reasons. One is that it's it is very much integrated into what we do, and of course it comes as a suite. So in Flock you have a directory, you have a file system, you have a to-do list integrated into the same thing, and of course you have a mechanics of making notes itself. So I personally believe, or we personally at Codesign Labs believe, that it's a one integrated tool where everything comes together, and it's very hands-on, very handy. Of course, I would rather say that the UI and UX is not that amazing to the level of Slack, and wherein Slack is more technical. But if you are a company which is working on WhatsApp till date, I think Flock can be a more natural and a better migration for your team. So communication is the key, and to make the communication seamless and to channelize it in the right way, I think you should definitely use a tool like Flock. for your communication, as I said, right? Moving from general communication to project management, which is again a very integral part, because as a company, as a team, you're working on multiple projects, and then you need to track multiple tasks, and to make sure whether all those tasks are happening on time, and then you have to make sure that the deadlines are being followed, the accountability is there. There's a tool called Asana. We personally use Asana for project management, and then of course the multiple other tools. You have a tool called Trello, which a few people use because of the kind of UI it delivers. There are few technical companies which use Jira and all those kind of tools. But again, what I'm talking about is from a operations perspective, companies which are not high on tech. So these are tools you can use in your everyday. So I personally believe that Asana is a great tool for an organization who's now going to go remote. In fact, a lot of people yesterday asked me that how do you ensure accountability? How do you make sure things are being tracked, and multiple things like that, right? So I think Asana is a great tool, and once you start using it, it's very user friendly. You can allocate the task, you can have internal chatting system, you can post comments, you can put in due date, you can mark subtasks, you can create projects, you can create private projects. So I think it's a great tool from the project management point of view. And I just as a tip, I want to add that you should definitely have different tools for different necessities. There's a reason why they're all built separately, and there's no one integrated master tool built, right? So all these tools have a specialty, and therefore you should be using a different tool for different things. So Asana is a great tool for project management, and then as I said, you can use Trello or Jira or whatever depending upon the requirement. Third is sometimes you need to communicate with people one-on-one, face-to-face, and of course Skype has been the leader in this category. But I think one of the tools that we have tried and is more hands-on than Skype, and I know a lot of people might not agree, but in my experience, we have seen it to be a really amazing tool and a more hands-on tool. It's called Whereby. It's again by the company whose product is Flock, and initially or in the earlier days of Flock, there was an integrated tool called Appear, and now they have created their own tool. Appear is a third-party tool, and now they have created their own tool which is called Whereby, and Whereby has a very nice and seamless integration with your Flock and other things. So it's the best part is you can create your own chat rooms. You can make those chat rooms, which are video chat rooms, private, and then the integration, it's a one-click start. You just have to give the URL to the person, everybody logs in with just a click. You have to just give camera permission and the mic permission, so it's absolutely seamless. So again, my objective of making this video was not to give you the tools which are hard or have more difficulty in terms of usage, but are really hands-on for your quick migration to remote working culture. So I think Whereby is a great tool. You should definitely use that. And otherwise, of course, Skype is a traditional tool. You can try that, or maybe you can try Zoom, or you want to host webinar, you can try Zoho webinar also. So multiple tools around that that thing are there. Also, go to meetings, go to webinar, tools like those are available, but I would really vouch for Whereby. Most important thing after that video chat is the file management. So a lot of times in our office, we just dump files on the email, which is not a very smart way. And this is one of the things I advise to a lot of my consulting clients also, that the file management in general has to be very strong. I see people who just work on an iPad or a mobile phone and do not have a proper file system structure, and then they have difficulty hunting for files. So I think a great place where you can put all your files is, I think, undoubtedly your Google Drive. Again, a lot of people use Dropbox, but the reason why I vouch personally and we use Google Drive personally, and I would vouch for that, is because it has got seamless integration with your email. So when you have to send your files, or when you have to send your Google Sheets or Google Word documents, or Google PPTs, which are called Google Slides, things like those to your clients and external people or internal people for review, I think it's a very seamless integration. Of course, Dropbox have moved ahead with leaps and bounds, and the kind of product it was, I think it's become far better than it was initially. But again, undoubtedly Google Drive is my personal favorite here, and you should definitely have a file system built in for your organization where you put in all the files. we as an organization deal with multiple kind of files, design files coming in, and of course, just to add, because the moment I said design files, people will say that hey, there's a separate tool for design file, and yes, we use InVision for that. But then in general also, you have contracts, you have documents, you have Excel sheets, you have reports, you have presentations, there are multiple files across out there. And then, as I said, you should be using Google Drive. An internal integrated file structure should be created, which can be designed by your team depending upon the kind of working culture you have. Then comes the most important part, where you have to have an overlap, right? Nothing beats calendar in that, and the Google Calendar is the best tool. You need to build a culture while working remotely. As I said yesterday also, that when you're face to face, you can simply barge into somebody's room or tap on the shoulder and say, hey, can I have a minute of yours? But when you're working remotely, it becomes really difficult, because then you have to either write to them on WhatsApp or Slack, or have to write them an email and then wait. So I think Google Calendar is a right way, and if integrated well with the kind of culture your organization have in terms of time overlaps and departmental overlaps, I think it works as a fantastic tool. It works like a charm. So you should have set calendar system. Use it for setting up your meetings, use it for setting up your calls. Most importantly, use it as a part of your system and process, wherein you have department reviews or overall organization reviews happening, or even for general team meetings. Use it very, very strongly in our organization, and it works like a charm. All you have to do is you need to set some sort of a disciplinary activity, and you have to make sure line up the week, make sure you put in your broad parameters into account, and then set up your calendar. I think it works really very great, works like a charm. These are broader tools. One thing again that I use personally, it's not which is implemented across my company, but I have been using it personally from a long time, and then I think that while you're working from home, or while you're working alone, this tool really helps you to make sure you are accountable as a professional and also personally. And I've been using it almost from 6-7 years now. Wait a second, I'll tell you the name of the tool within a second. But before that, one of the major reasons why I wanted to use this tool is because I know about myself that I'm more like a night person. I am more productive at night, and while you're working at night, you really sometimes slip on to other things. Although there are less distractions from the world's point of view, you have less calls and less emails and less message to reply. But then you have, of course, social media, and you have YouTube and multiple things happening out there, right? So one tool that I've personally integrated into my lifestyle, and it has helped me really to stay focused and to be extremely productive, is called Toggle, right? And I use the free version of Toggle. So in a paid version, you can you have a way where you can integrate invoices and your billing hours also. But Toggle especially helps you in marking your time in real time as per the projects and tasks that you're working on. So all you will do is just keep a Toggle screen open, type the task you're working, and turn on the timer. So at the end of the week or the month, it gives you a dedicated report as in what you worked on and what time you worked on that. So it helps you to be personally accountable in terms of the tasks that where you're putting your time, whether you are reading, you're learning new things. And this is what I do, honestly. I log that into Toggle when I'm reading, when I'm learning new things, when I'm doing project work, when I'm working for my client, when I'm working on my consulting assignments. Most importantly, when I'm working on my internal company goals and company projects. So I really believe Toggle is a great tool, which all of you now who are going to work from remote should be using. As I said, I want to reiterate this fact. It's not a compulsory implemented tool for my company. I have used it from a long time just to ensure that I'm really productive and I'm utilizing my man hours in the best way possible. Of course, concluding this entire video, I think there are a lot of different tools out there. Generically, you can go Google them, find them, pick and choose the one that you think are the best for your organization. If you're a technology company, your needs might be different. If you're an organization-driven company, your needs might operations-driven company, your needs might be different. If you are a company who understands remote working culture, you might already be implementing a few of them. And if you are a complete offline organization and now going into digital transformation, your needs might be completely different. We have learned a lot while implementing all these tools in our organization, and also helping a lot of older businesses into their digital transformation. So we consult a lot of businesses who are traditional and old and now want to go digital, and where there's a lot of digital transformation, digital integration is required, right? Because now everybody wants to bring in efficiency and accountability because of digital technical tools. So I think it's a great time to not just not just think from the perspective of remote, but most importantly, think from the perspective of going digital. It's a great time. Take a step back, think what kind of organization are you building, and see if you can integrate all these tools and technologies in your organization. If you can build systems and processes around it, I think if nothing else will work out, your overall employee efficiency, your overall employee productivity will definitely go for kind of rave. Most important point which I want to end my video with, and which I want to conclude with: nothing beats the culture and the trust in the organization, no matter what tools you're going to implement. And this is one of the things that we thrive upon as an organization at Codesign Labs, and we're really, really proud of. Nothing beats a great culture and trust. No matter what tools you implement, if you do not trust people, and if they're not motivated to work, they will definitely bypass all the tools. So please guys, make sure you're building in a great culture and you trust your people to deliver the best to you. Keep them motivated, otherwise all these tools will fail. So great system, great processes, right tools, and great culture will help you to build a super great remote organization, and will ensure that your people are happy, productive, motivated, even while working from home. So yeah, so that's it. That's from my side. I believe that this will help you in some sort of understanding, at least from the first point of view, in terms of learning things around building remote work culture and implementing tools. If you need any help, guys, feel free to comment in the comment section below, or feel free to reach out to me on any of the social media platforms. I'm there on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, most important Instagram, because this is going to be on IGTV. Comment, write to me. I'm responsive, I'm available. Most importantly, in the times like these, share this video with your friends, with people whom you think might need these recommendations and points. And if you have any questions, any queries, feel free to comment or DM me. I'm Dil Nawaz. I'm the founder and chief analyst at Codesign Labs, and I'm signing off with this message to you: stay safe, stay healthy, and take care of yourself. Thank you so much.